What's the deal? What's the deal? It's your boy, Big O from the pen to the gym, coming to you, sponsored by RSGN and Status Network. So today, I think people in the community really be paying attention to what we got to offer today, because we got some interesting services. I think people who have family members who have been incarcerated or might be incarcerated and getting ready to come home might want to pay attention to, because this is things that I didn't even really know about. And, you know, of course, we know my background. I've been down that road, and I believe these services would have helped me too. Right now, I believe brothers getting incarcerated at a high rate, jobs not really being abundant out there. You know, we need certain encouragements and certain services. I believe the two women that I have on here today will give us some inspiration and letting us know that, you know, people out here really care about felons and people with troubled backgrounds. These women I have today, Jessica Roberts, Miss Patricia Bennett. They are head of the organization empowering men and women on the move for the Reentry Incorporated. I think it's pretty noble, you know, for these women to step up to the plate and take on such a big task, because incarceration is a very, very, very big problem right now that we have going on. So I'd like to get into a few questions with my guest, Miss Jessica Roberts. Can you tell me what actually inspired you to even start an organization like this?
Well, Empowering Men and Women was started by Miss Patricia Bennett. She's the CEO, and I'm the newly appointed director. But I've been with Miss Bennett since 2011 when she first started, and so I'll let her give her take on you know, what inspired her. But I'm actually formerly incarcerated, so this is a part of my purpose and passion, and I've seen the impact of Miss Bennett's of Empowering Men and Women, of Miss Bennett's vision. So that's why, you know, when her and I met, I saw what she did, and I believed in her. I believe in the mission, and I've seen it work. So that's my inspiration.
Okay. Well, pardon me, Miss Bennett. Let me get to the one who started it all.
That's okay.
Forgive me, y'all.
That is
you know what
okay.
I mean? What actually got you to start this?
So what got me to inspire to start empowering men and women on the move? I'm the person that is the ear in the streets.
Okay.
I'm on that ground. And the streets are saying, when people are coming home, when they're being released, there's no home to come to. There's no programs to come to. There's no soft landing to come home to. There's no services. So that's what we decided to open up the housing program. It wasn't actually for reentry. It was for homeless women without any legal record. Then we decided to change the program with time and started reentry for women. Then we changed it again. Now we are working with men, strictly with men. But we still have services for women, families, seniors, youth. So that's what we had to do with this program. You have to be out there to hear the people. The people are speaking. The people are being released. They're coming home whether we want them to come home or not. They don't want to be homeless. And that's what we saw. So we have to go 20 steps ahead of the time, not 20 steps back.
Now, what you saying that, what qualifies somebody to actually become part of your program? Is there any specific qualifications that would disqualify?
So, our referrals come from Department of Supervision, Parole and Probation, Department of Corrections, other agencies that are out there. that are needing housing from us. So those are our main, and then we get calls. We started a prison release hotline, so you can call and get services. And if, oh, sorry, if you need services in the community, housing, food stamp, benefits, mental health, behavioral health, career apprenticeship. So you can get those services.
And what was the number that was
So
on
the
there?
prison release hotline is 404 654 0407. And you can call Monday through Sunday. A live person will answer the phone.
It's true.
404 654 0407.
Okay, okay. Now let me get back to Miss Roberts, because you most definitely caught my ear when you said you were formerly incarcerated too.
Yes.
You know, but now you're involved in making a difference. How did you two actually mesh?
Well, how we met was we were actually a part of another program, a program for women, and that program closed. And Miss Bennett, started her own program, and I started with Miss Bennett as a board member. Mm-hmm. So I've been with Miss Bennett since boots on the ground. When we didn't have our own the housing setup that we have now. Boots on the ground. We were handing out flyers and everything. So we meshed good because we were totally different. She's from New York. I'm originally from Florida, but
Okay.
my roots are Georgia. But I have the experience from the inside and outside, and I have a passion for it now. I found my calling and my passion, through being incarcerated. And Ms. Bennett just has a heart and a passion for it. And when I was first released, I went around and I saw different programs, and I'm not being biased when I say this, that Ms. Bennett's program stood out to me because she not only offers a bed, she offers wraparound services. And she has a heart for it. She's not in it for the money. She actually has a heart for it. And like I said, I've been a witness to see how her program works. If the guys come in, they use the tools that we put in that toolkit, they will be successful and they will not return to prison.
Now, when you say wraparound services, what do you mean by that?
Wraparound services, those are services like we go out into the community and we build partnerships with, employment, mental health, just different entities, things that we need inside the program. Because like I said, that's why we call ourselves, we are supportive housing. Because not only do we offer a bed, we offer services. Like she said, if they need food stamps, we have a person that we can connect them with when it comes to food stamps. If they need employment, we have organizations in the community that we've connected with, to give them gainfully employed, just things like that. So those are the wraparound services.
And I'm kind of familiar with that, not because of you guys' program. Like I told you before, I was in the federal halfway house at one point, which was known as Dismiss. And they also offered some of those things. But we'll get back to that. We're going to take a quick break. Big O from the pen to the gym. We'll be right back.
Save your tears, baby.
Damn risk, you crazy.
We came from poverty. Mama worked 2 jobs just so I could eat. They want to see us struggle, so I resorted to robbery. Hard time, Daddy went around and say he proud of me. My cousins like my brothers, if you play with them, you play with me. Took a bullet to the back, I'm never gonna forget that. Walk down, draw down, whatever I'm with. That's on everything.
Let me talk. Hey, grab the real and just a tenant. I got this whip for moving pigeons.
Welcome back, welcome back. You know who it is, Big O from the pen to the gym. Let's get back to these interesting questions with these two lovely ladies. Back to you, Jessica. Let's get back to what we was talking about.
Okay.
So you meet Miss Bennett, you start getting involved with her. You guys start putting these programs and these services together. But originally it was, like what Ms. Bennett said, was for the women. What brought this actual change to want to work with the men and get us involved? Because a lot of programs really don't cater to us.
Well, how we began working with the men, there was Miss Bennett met a woman, and she put the thought in Miss Bennett's mind because at the time, housing or services from women, she said, was needed. So Miss Bennett got to thinking about it. She went to different conferences or whatever, and she gathered data, and we talked about it, and she decided to make the change. And it's been a good change. But women, like I said, I'm formerly incarcerated. So women are impacted just as much as men.
No doubt.
And to talk about it, we're getting ready to do, go back, and we're going to do housing for women. And I'm going to be over that part. I'm going to run the housing for women. So, yeah.
Yeah, when I was, like I said, in that federal halfway house, it was actually co-ed.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was, you know, women on one side. And,
Yeah.
you know, we were on the other.
Right.
You know, like I said, they had services that they offered, but, you know, pretty much there you had to find it on your own. So I wish I had something like empowering men and women, you know, because that was most definitely needed after coming out of there after a decade. So
Yeah, and it works, and it's needed. And one of the things that stand out about empowering men and women is that we just don't give them the services and throw them out there. We walk side by side with them. Like, just for instance, like if they need food stamps, we walk side by side. We have a lady that we contact, but we're there on the phone giving the information, walking side by side. They can ask us any questions, even things like going to the grocery store. You know, you've been locked away for a long time. You're not used to being around crowds. We even take them to the grocery store. We give them the option. You want us to walk beside you as you get your grocery, or we'll just stand out front and wait for you. You know, we just don't throw you out there because you've been away from society for a long time, and things have changed. Things are changing by the minute, by the second. So, you know, it's a whole different world out there.
you got real culture shock when you walk inside of some of those grocery stores.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, you pick up something, you look in there, and you like, man, what is this?
Right.
You know? And it turns out it's pretty good, you know. So, yeah, you know, when I came home, I didn't really know how culture shocked and institutionalized I was because I wasn't, you know, the normal institutionalized where it was just being programmed off of what was going on in there. I wasn't really recognizing how to intermingle with people around me.
Right.
Because you hadn't done that.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean? So it would have been great to have somebody show me how to go set up my own bank account and to do this
Yes.
and to do that. You
Yep,
know what I
we
mean?
do that. We
Because
do that
that's
as
very
well.
frustrating.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
what I mean? It's a lot of stuff I'm still not tech savvy on today, and
Right.
I'm ready to snap my laptop in
Right,
half.
right. See, yeah, and it takes we have the patience. It takes patience to do things like that, and you know the world doesn't have patience.
No.
So when you find an organization like ours and how we do it, you know, it's a good thing. It really is.
And how many men are housed at your facility?
So right now, and I say it like this, we have single rooms.
Okay.
And that was something that we had to try out. You can't pack so many people in an apartment and expect them to thrive.
Correct.
So we decided to say, oh, you know, let's do single rooms. Some are double, where there's 2 beds in there, not bunk beds, not a locker. It's a regular apartment when you walk in the door. And then the guys are creative now. They are fixing up the apartment. You will not believe how this apartment looks now because they're putting their creativity in there now. So it makes it looks like home now. Okay. You know, so 19 people we can service, but we service 50 people out in the community. And they're the ones that just need the services. They don't need the housing. So that's different. These people need the housing, the service, and everything else that's come with the supportive housing program. But so that is different when you have to service so many people out in the community that are coming home, and people not knowing where to get the services at. That's the problem where people don't understand where to get the service. People can be frustrated. They could be in your household and you can't direct them and say, hey, this way you can go for medical. This way you can go for employment. This way you can go for training. This way you can go for behavioral health. This is where you can go for substance. You have to know when people are coming home. And what we did now, Mr. O, we go inside and do post-release assessments.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So we're preparing you to come home to the community so the community doesn't have fear. Now you have a purpose when you coming out those gates.
I like that. Now,
Good job.
well, I'm sure you guys need certain resources, you know. What are some of the things that you guys need if people out there wanted to, you know, donate or give you guys?
I'm glad you asked that question. Like right now, we're in need of a transportation van, and it doesn't have to be a the van that the prisons use. Just like a family van, a 6 to 8 seater, and we do have a GoFundMe page because our goal is we do have a goal. Our ultimate goal is our own building that we can offer housing and the wraparound services right there on site. So that is our goal. But we do the post-release. We go inside the prisons and jails. We go inside the prison. We do Thanksgiving with the guys. We do Valentine's Day with the guys. We do Father's Day with the guys. So we do goodie bags. So like hygiene products. You know, we always in need of hygiene products. Anything like that. So yeah.
I like the goodie bag. All right, well, we're gonna get back to you guys in just a little bit. So. From the pen to the gym with Big O, we'll be right back.
Save your tears, baby.
Damn risk, you crazy.
We came from poverty. Mama worked 2 jobs just so I could eat. They wanna see us struggle, so I resorted to robbery. Hard time, daddy went around and say he proud of me. My cousins like my brothers, if you play with them, you play with me. Took a bullet to the back, I'm never gonna forget that. Walk down, draw down, whatever I'm with that. Yeah, that's on everything.
Let me talk.
Talk to him.
Hey, grab the real of just a tenant. I got this whip for moving pigeons.
Yo, what's up? It's CEO Jay checking in. Vlog Clothing Owner, man. I want to give a big shout out to my boy, Big O, from the pen to the gym. Shout out on your new show, bro. We're going to turn up, man. Look forward to the partnership. Let's keep this thing going. 20-25 hour year. Let's do it. Salute.
Hey, shout out my pop, man, Big O. Super proud of you. It's your son, Lolo, man, coming from Dallas. Hopefully one day I can be on there with you, man, chopping it up with you. I know 2025 got big things in store for you, and I can't wait to see what you do with the podcast. I'm just so proud of you, man. Love you. You came so far. Can't wait to see where this goes and where you take it. I know you're going to blow up, man. Love you.
This is Jay Sean, the best looking son, obviously. Nah, I'm playing. I just want to give a quick shout out to my pops from the pen to the gym. I'm proud of you, man. I'm ready to see what the rest of this year has in store for you. I know you're going to do big things. Let's work.
Peace and blessings, beautiful beings. January 26, 2025. We're going to be with Status Network, collabing with From the Pen to the Gym. Big O got me coming out there, and I'm excited about it. Struggle for unity. These are the solutions for us within our communities. So y'all tap in with us, you know what I'm saying? Come out, show some love, support. It's all about us, the community. Without the community, there's no community.
Welcome back. You know, Big O from the pen to the gym. Ms. Jessica Roberts, Patricia Bennett, and we have some of the guys that are from the actual program. So, you know, we're going to get to some Q&A, you know what I mean, and let you know how these guys are being impacted by the same services that they've offered to the other men that might be coming home. So, guys might want to listen up. So, first, I'm going to ask you your name and, you know, just your basic rundown.
My name is Artemis Patterson. I just got out of prison in December 2024 off a 5-year bid for trafficking. It's my second bid. The last time I got out of prison, it was pretty hard. You know, I wasn't able to have a support system or the resources to be able to flourish or succeed. So it was kind of like, you know, I was in a situation where it was like, go for what you know.
Revert back to what you know.
And that's what I did. And so I ended up with the second bid. This time I came out, you know, by chance, I called Miss Bennett's service, you know. It was the first one that I called. She answered the phone. I asked her, I said, you know, I'm looking for a residency because I could not parole out anywhere. She told me, I'll help you. And from there, it was all gold, man. You know what I'm saying? I got out in December. It took me 2 months to get a job. Like, I'm just sitting around trying to fill out applications on Indeed. I filled out 100 applications.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and to this day, I'm still waiting on some of them to try to respond.
Is your name now No?
No.
Because they tell you no so much.
I know, right.
That's your name. No.
And so, you know, it was like, I'm just like a person that, you know, I seen her vision and the way that they was working the system, you know, to allow us to be able to have the resources and the opportunity. Because, you know, when you get out of prison and you don't have anything, you kind of feel, you know, lonely or feel like you might not be able to succeed. And so it was like, with the way that she had it set up, you know, you get your own room, you get your own food, you get your own, you know, independence. You know, you gradually be able to grow into what you aspire to be.
You know, a productive citizen.
Right.
They got to allow you to do it.
They got to allow you to do it.
And that's so great that they're giving you some individuality to let you do that.
Right.
That's good. And it's also good that she knows it's not a cop-out or an excuse that because you have been locked up that you are actually short opportunities because it is so judgmental out there. I've been through it myself, you know, quite a bit. And it's very discouraging, you know what I mean, to the point to where you don't necessarily want to revert back to what you do, but me, myself, I ain't starving.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is.
Right.
But why be put in that situation? Give these men some services if you already know what they're going to be dealing with. So it's great that they actually are offering something like that. Like, you know, that is golden, you know. So we're going to run into you. What's your name? How long you been there? Or were you there? And
my name is Sean Staples. I was fortunate enough to enjoy the benefits of the program in 2020. I came off 7 years. I didn't have nothing but khaki pants, some bootleg Converse, and $20 I think they gave you when you got out, and a ticket. And Miss Bennett put her money where, you know, she walked the walk. It's plain and simple to me. I mean, I can't say that. I'm impressed by her faith first and foremost. You know, I got to give it up to my Savior, the man upstairs. But she impressed me by that, and she did. Like I said, she walked the walk. She took me to the store. She took me to the place to get semi-paper and tax. But she got me a job in a week. I was very lucky. You know, she gave me 2 meals a day, a 2-month bus pass, and a job in a week. I didn't have nothing. So for me, I didn't look back since. You know what I mean? Today I own my home. I own my vehicle. I want to close on my, I mean, you know what I mean? I have never looked back. I love this lady. There's nothing I wouldn't do for this lady. And I really, and this is a plug, but let's get her that van, y'all. That's what I'm saying. Listen, somebody out there can help us.
Promote that.
Program.
Promote that.
Somebody's got something to help this lady out. I'm telling you, I love this lady with all my heart, and she needs it. So let's do what we can to help her out. You know.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's great. That's great. I'm glad you did something like that because, you know, word of mouth is everything.
Yes.
And like I say, women like this and like the Regina Sunshines and, you know, people behind the scenes that do great things for the community, their names might not get put out there. So, you know, other people have to do it for them. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I think that was, you know, real noble of yourself. And like they said, get them that van.
Yeah.
Yes.
We come get that van. Anyway, my man.
Yeah, I'm James Harrison. I did a 10-year bid, and when I went to the TC, and my counsel got me hooked up with Miss Bennett. I didn't have no support, nobody to help. So when I got out, I've been with her for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
And I said she took me to the bank, helped me get a bank account. She took me to the grocery store, you know. And I'm just so thankful for her, you know. And I'm still with her right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm up in age, and I just love her.
So, I'm going to get back to you on this one, but let me ask you something, Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
There is no time frame that they have to be. They can be there as long as they produce it.
And I'm glad you asked me that.
That's a great question.
That is an excellent question. That is an excellent question. That's an excellent question. My seniors are coming home. Rapidly. With nowhere to go. Who am I, or this organization, puts a time frame on a senior? We cannot do that.
Right.
We will not do that. It is 6 months to a year for everyone else.
Yep.
You got 6 months. When you hit the door, the clock is ticking.
Right.
Now, sometimes, you know, everybody moves in different movement.
Right.
We got to come back to the table. But my seniors, there's no time limit.
Right.
Those are for my seniors.
And I just wanted to add that he lives in a presidential suite in the housing. When I tell you it's so nice and lovely, every time I walk in there, I feel like I'm at home.
That's why you got the derby on like a mom.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
I knew it was something now.
That's it.
He's a little too slick when you walk in here, man. The boss would like to see you.
And I'm glad he stayed.
Yeah, that's
and I'm
what's
glad.
Up. That's what's up. I can tell you I really care, man, and that's different. Right.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah.
You know, for an agency, a service, an organization to actually look at you past being either a paycheck, a number, or basically just a past issue for everybody else and just to slide you on through.
Right.
You know. So kudos again to y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
My man, what is your name and how long you been in there?
My name is Abdul Amin. I've been out of the program since, let me get the year straight because I'm half asleep because I work all the time.
Okay.
April 2020, I came to the program April 11th, 2020. I came out of the federal halfway house. I'm from California. I got in trouble here, and when I got out, I never had a family here anyway, so when I got out, I still didn't have a family here. So I was out, nowhere to go, no housing, and I was released from the federal halfway house. Somebody I was going to school with, a truck driving school, introduced me to her. Told me, I think I can find you something. I said, man, I ain't got nowhere to go. So he said, I know somebody that can give you somewhere to go. So he gave me the phone number to call her. I called her, and she told me she was going to give me somewhere to stay, which was, to me, was a lifesaver in itself because I didn't have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Basically, I didn't have nowhere to go. So upon my release, I reported to where she was at. I was there like about 3 days, and they got me a job. I worked that job for like about 9 months. I saved up about $5,000. The job that I had they got me was terminated. They got me another job, which was a much better job, paying like more. At that job, the first job I had was like $11 an hour. They got me another job that was making like $15 an hour, which I'm at the same place that same job. I'm working at that same place now. I'm a supervisor.
Okay.
But yeah, I started at $15. Now I'm all the way up to $30 as a supervisor.
Right. Well,
Okay.
that's
That's
what's
what
up.
I'm talking about.
That's what's up.
Yes.
Yes.
Boss campaign.
Yes.
Boss campaign.
So let me see with the continuity of the story. So like I said, I got the second job in 9 months. I already had $5,000 saved up. So that was like February. So even though I had the money, now I got all this money saved up. Now I'm ready to go because that was my whole goal in the first place. I want to get me somewhere to stay, save some money, and get out of here. I mean, it wasn't bad being there, but my goal was I need to get my spot.
Right.
I need to get back to where I was living before I went to the pen. So I saved up my money, and it took me a couple more months. I finally got my situation where I could get out of there. So I had enough money. I moved out. I got an apartment, which is the same apartment I'm living in today. Still, I haven't even moved out of it. I'm living in a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse. Haven't moved. Same place.
Longevity.
Yeah. So, like I said, I've been on the same job for 4 years now.
Awesome.
Been on the same job, living in the same place, and basically I reestablished everything. I got a new car. I got everything. I can't keep a girlfriend, but everything else I got. I got a good job. I got a nice. Basically, my life is back. Like if you saw me walking around and you see how I'm living, you would never think that never happened. Like I never went to prison or nothing.
Right.
It's like if everything's been put back together. But the cornerstone of it was I was able to get somewhere to stay and get a job, and that was really all I needed. For me, that was all I needed, and I just grinded my way out of it. And I'm at the position where I'm at now, and basically that's what's going on with me. I'm doing fine. Like I say, if you look at me now, you never know anything happened. I never went to jail. I live in a nice place. I got a nice car. I got a good job, and that's what it did for me, in a nutshell.
That's what's up. Yeah.
Everybody here has something positive that has come from this program, and it's valid. It's concrete. It ain't just hearsay, she say, whatever, whatnot. So that's why it's good, because we're getting it from the horse's mouth, actually. You know what I mean? So it gets no better. I'm really impressed by another aspect that I heard about you guys was the medical service that you guys get people approved for like a year or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you enlighten people out there?
Yeah, they get a medical for a year free. Yep. That's one of our resources we have. It's wonderful.
And that's a one-stop shop. Just to intercede. That's a one-stop shop. So it has medical, it has substance, it has dental, it has glass. They're going to tell you because they in it, right? So, mental health, so counseling, social case management. It's a one-stop shop. We don't want the guys to be traveling all over because we get guys that been in rural areas, so they never been on a train or a bus.
Right.
So that can give a shell shock to somebody. We do have a transportation person, but we want them to be independent and learn how to ride the bus because there's a bus stop right in front of the apartment complex where they live at. So, by having a one-stop shop, it gets people to come in a building and we advocate for them. We don't send them in the building and say, we're going to send Mr. Bob, and then Mr. Bob get in there, and Mr. Bob's not talking right, and the lady say, next. Then he gets frustrated and say, they didn't help me. Right. But if we're there, we're going to walk you there. Because some people, filling out these applications and online, everything's online now. There's no paper anymore. There's no paper. So you got to be, technology it could be a beast sometimes, we were getting them through. And what I wanted to say and close it out, it's a soft landing. You're coming from the past, that's the prison. We're the present. And now you're the future.
Yeah, we're going to
They're the future because they moved on. And you can see where they're at now. Correct. So it's 3 things in that program. And we say that when we go inside these facilities, the past, you're going to get through this.
Right.
The present, whatever program you decide to land at, that's the present. And the future is when you walk out that door.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
We are visionaries.
Yeah, when
that's
I was
why
in the
we on
feds,
these teams.
I was in one of those DAP programs, and some of the way of thinking that I hear from you guys, reminds me of that. So that's pretty interesting. So I'll be back in a little bit. Big O from the pen to the gym. We'll be right back.
Pablo Hellboy, Waterbury, Connecticut. Shout out to Big O Ozilla. Whoa, what's poppin'? Congratulations, Big O, on your show From the Pen to the Gym. I'm looking forward to the show tomorrow. Again, congratulations. I am so excited to be in the house.
Hey, what's happening, good people? Just want to give a shout out to my big dog, Ozilla. It's my boy, big homeboy. Love one, always checking up on us, keeping it real, looking out for the kids, and a stand-up kind of dude and a stand-up kind of dad. Thanks for always keeping it real and voicing your opinions with me and giving me good input on my issues. I always can talk to him about anything, no matter what time or what day. He in the state, but it's always LA, baby. Big dog, I love you, Ozilla. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm proud of you, man. You see what I'm doing. Getting it in. Peace and blessings, loved one. Whoa.
Hey, what's squapping over this Fast Lane G.O, man? You know, Big O, Pen to the Gym. Got my brothers in here with me. You know how we do these days, man. Yo, man, you already know. Long time coming. End of the day, though, it's the perfect opportunity. I got a couple of my little brothers interviewing, a couple of my brothers performing. We just out here trying to make it work. Shout out to Jack Trey, Status Network, Regina Sunshine Global Network. This is what we do. It ain't nothing, it's light work. So y'all make sure that y'all keep tuning in. Love and support to you, bro, man. This thing gonna take off and it's gonna keep on moving. You already know, man. Love you, homie.
Welcome back. It's your boy Big O from the Pen to the Gym. We're gonna get back into these live interviews, man, with my man right here, man. I got a question though that I would like to ask you, Miss Bennett, and you, Miss Roberts. If somebody is currently incarcerated, are they allowed to contact you and get information directly, or would they have to have their family contact you? Because I have a friend in there that I've been telling them about you guys, and I told him to tune in today, and hopefully he is. And so I just want him to possibly hear.
They can have their counselor contact us. Yeah, so he can give his counselor the information, his counselor contact us, and we take it from there.
Okay.
And I just want to piggyback off. Sometimes people do call, but we want to speak to the counselor because we want to make sure you're a good fit. We want to ask, how were you inside? And then most of the time the counselor will be on the phone. It'll be a speakerphone, and we'll all have a conversation. Right. Because I want to tell you a little bit about the program, and I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself. What have you been doing behind the bars or whatever facility that you're coming from?
Yeah, and we do, just to piggyback off that, we have an intake process. So, we just don't take anybody.
Okay.
So, that's part of our intake process. It's like when they're inside, we speak with the counselor. And like we do now, one facility, we go in and we interview the potential guests. And, everybody's not a good fit. Everybody's not a good fit. And just for example, we went last week into one facility and we interviewed five guys, and none of them made the cut. But
now would it not to get directly into that stuff, would it be because it's violent cases? Would that exclude them, or would it just be they just don't have the energy that you feel would be right with everybody else?
Well, we don't do sex offenders, so that's the only type of crime we don't do. Yeah. But it's the individual thing, so we're not judgmental. We don't judge you based on the crime, but it's your own individual. It's because we've been doing it so long, so we know what to look out for. We know, because our program, we're in the community. So we get one bad apple in there, we can shut the whole program down. So we have to vet them, and we have to be very selective, the people that we bring in. So that's why we have that process in place.
And to piggyback off of Jessica, it's public safety that we have to do in this community. Public safety inside the housing and outside the housing in the community, because these guys live there. And I have to protect my staff that's in there that comes around and make sure everybody's okay. So that's why we have to sit down and do an individual. It's not a group assessment.
Right.
It's individual. We're in a room and we're asking you questions.
Right.
We want you to be honest.
Right, and everything we discuss in that room with the individual, it doesn't go back to their counselor or anything. So we're regular people, so we make you feel comfortable, and that's one thing that stands out about us. Like, people know, because that's a big thing when you're incarcerated. Trust. You know you can't trust somebody. Everybody. So they know we're humble, and they know you can feel when you can trust somebody, their presence and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask the guys, since you've been in the program since when?
December.
So you got about
90 days.
90 days.
Yeah.
What out of the services has impacted you the most, or that you like the most, that you say, hey, man, this is something that I would recommend to somebody that's coming in, to help catapult them like it has me?
I mean, I would probably say, if it was for me, it's the whole thing, because it don't, like, one part of the service ain't really, like, the main focus. Like, the main focus is to get you overall help. So it's like, you got to appreciate the medical. You got to appreciate the transportation. You got to appreciate the housing. And then, when you get the food and you be able to, I guess, just the independence. For me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It allowed me to be able to kind of like, freestyle, make my own way, and it was over with.
Kind of made you feel like you had a way.
Right.
After 90 days, I got my own apartment. It's over with.
That's what I'm saying. So, last time, like you were saying, when I listened to you, you were saying that, wasn't too much opportunity for you.
Facts.
So, you went to what you knew. Got you, but it got, of course, to get you 5 years. But so now they give you something that gave you away.
Right.
And allow me the opportunity.
Most definitely. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Man, when you were there, what really helped you get through there?
They gave me somewhere to live. They got me a job. What else can somebody? What else you want?
He gonna be come 29 cents an hour, huh?
What more can you ask for?
What more can you ask?
She had the other, the food stamps, the medical, and all that. That's cool. But I'm trying to get some money so I can get my own place and get my life back together.
Right.
She gave me that opportunity. That's the opportunity that she gave me, to get my life back to where I wanted it to be.
Right.
And I've gotten it back where I wanted it to be, and that was the cornerstone that allowed me to do that. Because if I didn't have that, what I was going to do, I just had to hit the Greyhound bus and go back to California and go back to my mama's house. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So she gave me a way. You got me somewhere to stay. You got me a job. I was only there 3 days. I was there for 3 days and I had a job. I've been working ever since.
Wow.
And that was in April 11th, maybe about April 15th, maybe I started working in 2020. I've been working ever since.
Wow.
And now I'm working so much, I don't do nothing but work. I'm tired now.
Ain't turned you into a workaholic.
Oh, he know the date and everything.
Yeah, April 11th,
usually somebody just say April 2020. He was like, well, what's the time frame? What was the time on the
The reason
clock?
why I know is because when I left the program, I moved to my apartment that April.
Yeah.
So my lease renews every April. So I know every April when I left the program, the new program started where I live at.
That's a landmark date, actually.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's matter of fact, I just renewed my lease
Okay.
for next month.
Yeah. Got a little early start on that one.
Yeah, well, they always come and order, do you want to stay or not?
Did they move your rent up too?
Of course.
Okay. That's how it used to go.
Yeah.
When you was there, because the stuff that you said, we see you flourish. So what really was the part that kind of catapulted you?
I think the main thing that I love about the program was the main thing I love about it is the independence. You're really your own maker in this program. She lets you know what they expect, and the transparency is a big benefit too. You're not gonna get hoodwinked.
Right.
You're gonna know what's coming.
That's important.
You know what's coming from Miss Bennett before it's coming.
Yeah, that's important.
She lets you know a long way off what to expect. And so it's up to you. If you work the program will work for you.
Exactly.
You know, I was there in a different time. I just want to share a little bit on, she was the one doing this, she was my ride.
Right.
You know, she was my, bringing groceries to the house. So it was a little bit different time. I got to see her. She's a warrior. She's from the street. Yeah. She's on the ground, on the street. And so I would say that. It allowed me, I just want to add, it allowed me to get the trust back my family.
Yep.
That's what I wanted. You know, I'm from here. My family wasn't messing with me up, period. Okay, when I got out. But she did. That's the difference.
Redeemed your character.
Absolutely.
Man, dig that.
Absolutely. I love her forever.
Dig that.
Y'all gonna make me cry.
Well deserved.
I'm saying, if you got some wings, you ready to pop out your
Y'all gonna make me cry.
Hey, you deserve it.
Oh my goodness.
That's the tears of a winner.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Tears of a winner. 'Cause you win like Regina Sunshine saying when I win, she wins. So I guess when they win, you win.
Right.
Vice versa. So that's a win-win situation. It feels good when somebody that represents you or you represent, they win. And you win. So,
right.
And I got my right hand.
Truly can relate.
Right over here.
That's right, your right hand.
Yeah, that's right.
My man, the mob.
Yeah, she's helped me out a lot, and when I got there, I caught cancer, so I got cancer, and so I had to retire and quit work. So now that I quit, I've got in touch with a social worker. They're trying to get me an apartment and everything. So I can't thank her enough. I'm really blessed. So she's been real patient, on that.
Yeah. Yeah, she gave, when she said that about the citizens, man, I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
And I'm glad he touched on that because our seniors are coming home. And whatever time they went away, they're coming home at 66 or 65, and they're coming home with a lot of medical, I don't say issues, I call them concerns. So by the time we take them to the doctor, there's more concerns than we anticipated.
Right.
So who are we as an organization saying, well, you got 1 year?
Right.
And the man probably got a bad heart, something else is going on with him. So yes, they have to stay a little bit longer. And most of them do not have family members when they finish doing this long-term bid that they was sentenced to. So that's why we decided to say, we have to be 20 steps ahead and dealing with seniors now.
I did that. All right, well, I'm going to get into a quick break. It's Big O from the pen to the gym. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's guapping over this Fast Lane G.O., man? Big O, pen to the gym. Got my brothers in here with me. You know how we do these days, man. Man, you already know. Long time coming. End of the day, though, it's the perfect opportunity. I got a couple of my little brothers interviewing, a couple of my brothers performing. We just out here trying to make it work. Shout out to Jack Trey, Status Network, Regina Sunshine Global Network. This is what we do. It ain't nothing, it's light work. So y'all make sure that y'all keep tuning in. Love and support to you, bro, man. This thing gonna take off and it's gonna keep on moving. You already know, man. Love you, homie.
Save your tears, baby.
Damn risk, you crazy.
We came from poverty. Mama worked 2 jobs just so I could eat. They wanna see us struggle, so I resorted to robbery. Hard time, daddy went around and say he proud of me. My cousins like my brothers, if you play with them, you play with me. Took a bullet to the back, I'm never gonna forget that. Walk down, draw down, whatever I'm with that. That's on everything.
Let me talk.
Talk to him.
Hey, grab the real of just a tenant. I got this whip for moving pigeons.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Oh, God.
It's Big O from the pen to the gym. I wanted to get a question that was asked on the screen answered by one of you guys about if you guys have been affected by the cuts, the budget cuts.
We can both answer that.
Not at all.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No.
We're going to be here for the next 20 years, 40 years.
Privately funded.
Yes. Thank you. So we're not affected. So come on in.
And there was another.
On paper.
Go ahead.
There was another question on the screen about the GoFundMe. Is it for the van? The GoFundMe is for whatever the program needs, and whether it's the van, whether it's hygiene products, whether it's toward our goal. Like I said, our goal is our own building. So yeah, the GoFundMe is just anything that the program needs.
Well, you know, right about, you know, usually around this time, I got a little thing, we call it the huddle. The huddle is basically you giving, you know, your shout outs, you know, your promos, whatever, whatnot. So we're going to go around this thing and we're going to start with you.
All right. I would just like to shout out the guys that are here. I'm so proud of you. I'm witness. I see you guys, the past guys, the present guys. I see you guys winning. Just keep winning. Just keep doing your thing. Spread the love. Spread the word. Just keep grinding. You're just because you've been incarcerated, that doesn't that doesn't have an effect on your future. But it takes a different mindset. It takes you putting in work. Although Ms. Bennett has the program, we can't do 100% of the work. It starts with you. We're right there by your side and everything. But I just like to thank empowering men and women. I like to thank Ms. Bennett. She entrusted me. Like I said, I've always been with her. I've been in the background. I've been a board member. I've been going into the prisons with her. But I just want to shout her out because I become director as of February this year, and just for her entrusting me, to be program director. So.
Most definitely needed an applause for that.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Bennett.
Oh, man. This was amazing. I want to thank each and every one of you for entrusting empowering men and women to give the guests a soft landing.
Yep.
To come into this program and do what they need to do to be productive out there and spread the word in the community. Fear, purpose. Thank you. And I just want to shout out to Truist, my children, Miss Roberts, Jessica Roberts, Big Daddy Restaurant, who sponsor our food to service the guys when we have our events in the prison. And I just want to thank God for giving me this mission. And I want to thank my Bronx people. Thank you so much. Thank you. And if I forgot anybody, I apologize. But first of all, I got to thank the gentlemen and the women, Miss Morgan and Miss Riley. Thank you so much. I pass the mic.
Man, I just send a shout out to the whole shebang. You know what I'm saying? Mainly Miss Bennett, Miss Roberts. One other person that she mentioned was transportation lady, is a lady named Miss Trudy. And she's been a real impact for me. Me and her kind of linked up. She actually does the charity donations for food drives for churches. So for the men who don't have a job, that's what you go and do. You go and do community service with them through the week until you do get a job.
Yes.
Okay. So it gives you something to be able to create your independence and spend your time. But I send a shout out to Miss Trudy because she really worked one for me, and it really helped me out. So I'm appreciative.
That's what's up. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Miss Bennett, Miss Trudy, and Miss Roberts. And a shout out to you guys that's coming out of prison. If you need help, it's out here. look good.
I really just want to shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who paid the price for us all.
Oh, yeah, amen.
God, so appreciate it. And Big O, you, man.
Yeah,
Making
shout
this
out to
possible
Big O.
Yes.
For having us out. So thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys. My man.
Well, all I can say is thank you again, Mr. Bennett. And it was a washing machine. I think somebody threw it out. There was one of your relatives had a washing machine. They moved out and left the washing machine. I still got that washing machine in my house right now. I still got that's the washing machine.
You still got your longevity. You still got
Did you have to work on it at all?
Nothing.
Oh my goodness.
Somebody, she had another resident there, and she said, "Look, get all that stuff out of there." So he pulled up to my door. He said, "Hey man, you been looking for a washing machine?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Where you get that?" "Oh, that was Miss Bennett's daughter moved out and left the washing machine in there." I got that washing machine right now in my house.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
You know, some of this stuff, you put it in the
forgot.
back until somebody bring it, and you have to put a laughter with it because you know how far you have come.
Right.
And Miss Regina Sunshine and
Thank you.
we want to thank you, all of us from our heart,
For
to
having
thank
us.
you. We couldn't ask. There's so many people I want to say thank you, but we'll be here overnight. And and I know we're almost out of time, but thank you from our hearts.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Well, it's about that time, so it's my time to shine, So I got a little something that, we usually call the play of the day, so I've said a few of them here and there, So, my thing is, man, you either got to boil or spoil, You either going to do it or you're not. You're either going to heat it up or you're going to stay stagnant. And sometimes I got to tell myself that, because sometimes I get caught up in my own nonsense. And I got to get my coattail pulled. So, that's when I got to boil. I hadn't been spoiling, So, we all human. So we all, kind of do some of the same things. We might just handle it a little bit different, So, I'm going to give my shout-outs now. Of course, I want to thank the whole F.P.G team that's behind the scenes. You know who you are. RSGN, Regina Sunshine, for even giving me, the courage and the know-how, when I'm bucking in class and all that, you know what I mean? And she going to put up with it. Her and the sis Chrissy, you know what I mean? They put up with it. My man Jack Trey, man, I met him and we hit it off, man. Felt like we went back like tube socks and pop rocks, man. So everything has been real good for me, here at Status Network and at RSGN. Of course, all my people out there, family, friends, my kids, of course, the Loso way, and what we do here, we talk about real life struggles, real life victories. And in the end of the day, just like Regina would say, if I win, you win. And if you win, I win. Until next time, from the pen to the gym, Big O, peace.